Have you spent years believing that walking is the ultimate foolproof exercise, only to find that it isn't giving you the vitality or strength you once hoped for? Maybe your doctor said just take a daily walk, or your friends insisted that 10,000 steps a day was the gold standard. But what if I told you that many doctors are now shocked to discover this universal advice may be limiting your health potential, especially as you get older? Don't get me wrong, walking can be beneficial. The problem is that too many people rely on it as their only or main form of movement, not realizing that mindless strolling or repetitive, unchallenging steps might not offer the deep benefits they truly need. In today's video, we're going to break down why some experts are now telling older adults to stop walking the way they've been doing it for years and start focusing on a new approach, one that could lead to a healthier, longer life. That might sound radical, but keep an open mind. You might discover that subtle changes, or even entirely different activities, can give your body and mind a boost you never expected. Imagine Alice, a 72-year-old retiree who took great pride in walking around her neighborhood each morning. She'd been doing it for over a decade, leaving the house at 7 a.m., strolling for half an hour, then returning home to start her day. At first, her legs felt energized by this routine, but she eventually noticed she wasn't getting stronger. In fact, climbing stairs began to feel harder, and she'd sometimes feel strain in her lower back. She assumed it was just aging. Then her doctor surprised her by saying something that made her jaw drop. "Alice, you might want to rethink how you walk, or consider other exercises that can support your muscles more effectively." Alice was dumbfounded. Hadn't she done exactly what every health guideline recommended? It turned out that her version of walking, always the same route, at the same moderate pace, never mixing things up, could be selling her short. Her doctor explained that as we age, we often need a combination of better posture, targeted strength exercises, and variations in movement that walking alone might not provide. Alice was reluctant to change her routine at first, but once she did, she found her balance improved and her legs actually felt stronger, allowing her to enjoy a far more active lifestyle than she'd had in years. This story might resonate with you. Perhaps you've been faithfully walking for months or years, believing it was enough, but you're not seeing the results you want in terms of leg strength, heart health, or overall vitality. Let me be clear, I'm not saying you should become a couch potato. The message is that the standard approach to walking, same route, same pace, same routine, might not be delivering the significant health benefits you assume. There are better, more targeted strategies out there, and that's what we'll explore. Remember, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not suggesting you suddenly start doing sprints if you have underlying conditions or mobility issues. Always speak with a qualified healthcare provider before making major changes to your exercise plan. That disclaimer aside, let's talk about how you can move in ways that truly protect your muscles, joints, and heart, potentially extending both your health span and your actual lifespan. One surprising factor is how walking can put repetitive stress on particular joints if your posture is off. Many older adults unconsciously hunch forward or drag their feet slightly. If your form is poor, you risk compounding small misalignments in your spine, hips, knees, or ankles, leading to chronic aches and pains. Over time, these minor stresses can turn into bigger issues like knee strain, hip tightness, or even plantar fasciitis. Physical therapists often observe that seniors who walk frequently but with suboptimal posture develop recurring discomforts that force them to cut down on walking in the long run. That's ironic, considering that many start walking to reduce the risk of joint problems. But if you're not engaging your core, maintaining alignment, and ensuring a proper stride, you might be doing your body more harm than good. If any of this sounds familiar, aching knees, tight lower back, or general stiffness after a walk, you might be stuck in that cycle. Stopping your current walking method, or at least pausing to reevaluate how you move, could be a game changer. Another point that baffles doctors is how certain older adults who rely solely on walking never develop the kind of muscular strength that supports truly robust health. Walking is largely an endurance activity. Yes, it's better than being sedentary, and it does get your blood pumping, but it doesn't always challenge your muscles, especially your glutes and core, at a level needed to prevent the natural decline in muscle mass known as sarcopenia. Studies have shown that after about age 30, we gradually lose muscle mass each year if we don't actively work to maintain it. By the time you're in your 60s or 70s, you could be down a significant percentage of your muscle fibers unless you're doing some form of resistance training or at least weight-bearing exercises that force your muscles to adapt. Merely walking at a leisurely pace can't fully offset this decline. That's why many doctors now recommend that older patients focus on strength-building routines like bodyweight exercises, light resistance bands, or gentle weightlifting rather than just walking. If you're walking regularly but still noticing weakness in your legs, trouble rising from chairs, or difficulty climbing stairs, it's a sign that you need a different stimulus to preserve or regain your muscle mass. You might also be dealing with a scenario where walking fails to challenge your cardiovascular system sufficiently. If your typical walk never raises your heart rate above a very mild zone, you aren't gaining the same heart-lung benefits you'd get from more varied exercise. While not everyone is ready for intense cardio sessions, you can incorporate interval-like elements into your walks. That might mean alternating 30 seconds of brisker walking with a minute of recovery. However, many older folks keep the same slow pace for 30 or 40 minutes, never pushing their heart or lungs to adapt. The result is stagnation in cardio fitness. Some doctors have told me they're shocked at how many seniors consider that daily 20-minute stroll highly effective exercise, yet still exhibit classic signs of cardiovascular decline. If your heart health matters to you, and it should, stop approaching walking as your one-size-fits-all solution. You might want to try aqua aerobics, stationary biking, or even a gentle elliptical routine that encourages a bit more exertion, with your doctor's blessing, of course. By adding variety and occasionally elevating your heart rate, you'll see more robust improvements in stamina and endurance. Another overlooked issue is how habitual walking doesn't address flexibility or balance in a dynamic way. Yes, walking does engage some coordination, but it's usually in a straight line at a constant tempo. Real life demands more diverse movements, twisting, bending, sidestepping. If your daily routine never involves these motions, you might get caught off guard by a sudden need to sidestep a tripping hazard or pivot quickly in the kitchen. That's why many doctors recommend older adults incorporate multi-directional activities like Tai Chi or dance-based classes, or even structured balance exercises. These can sharpen your proprioception, your sense of body position, and reduce the risk of falls. A simple but effective routine might be practicing single-leg stands near a wall for support. Compare that to a typical walk, which rarely challenges your ability to stabilize yourself in new positions. If your main approach to exercise is still that familiar walk around the block, you could be missing out on benefits that keep you safer in everyday life. We should also acknowledge that some older adults walk on sidewalks or surfaces that are uneven, leading to a higher risk of small injuries, ankle rolls, knee tweaks, or lower back jolts. Perhaps you've experienced that sudden misstep when the pavement wasn't perfectly level. Frequent slip-ups can do more harm than good, making doctors concerned about repetitive strain or micro-injuries that accumulate over time. While you can't avoid all hazards, switching up your routine can reduce overexposure to risky surfaces. Maybe you do better with a walking path in a local park or a track at a community center. Or you might find that stationary cycling is kinder to your joints, eliminating the jarring impact of concrete. Again, the point isn't to give up on walking entirely, but to be mindful of how you walk, where you walk, and whether it's truly the best option for your body and current environment. Another reason doctors might say stop walking or at least pause your routine is that many seniors ignore posture alignment checks. For instance, do you slump your shoulders looking down at the ground with each step? That posture can compress your lungs, reducing oxygen intake, and can also strain your spine. Over years, this misalignment might cause chronic tension in the neck or upper back. If your daily walk is reinforcing these poor habits, you might see a chiropractor or physical therapist to evaluate your gait. Some older adults realize they need supportive footwear, orthotics, or a walking pole to keep everything aligned. Once they correct these issues, they either resume a more beneficial form of walking or move on to alternative exercises that promote better spinal posture, such as yoga or Pilates-based moves tailored to seniors. The shocking part for some doctors is how few patients consider the quality of their walk. They assume a walk is a walk, never realizing a few posture tweaks can drastically change the exercise's outcomes. You might be wondering, so if I'm not supposed to rely on normal walking, what should I do instead? The answer isn't the same for everyone, but a few strategies come up frequently. One is interval walking, or brisk walking with short bursts of intensity. Rather than maintaining a slow, constant speed, you might walk quickly for 20 seconds, then resume a moderate pace for a minute and repeat. This approach can amplify cardiovascular benefits and strengthen your leg muscles more than a steady, leisurely stroll. Another option is elliptical training, which offers a similar motion to walking but with reduced impact on the joints and the possibility of adjusting resistance levels. Swimming or aqua aerobics can also be transformative for older adults, combining cardio, low-impact movement, and some natural resistance from the water. If you're comfortable with the idea, light jogging might even be beneficial for certain seniors, provided there are no major joint or cardiovascular contraindications. Talk to a doctor or fitness professional if you're unsure where to start. Strength training, even with minimal equipment, is another essential piece many seniors skip. While walking does little to challenge upper body muscles, a simple routine with resistance bands or light dumbbells can do wonders. Focus on functional movements that mirror daily life tasks, like squats for sitting and standing, or overhead presses for putting items on a shelf. Just a few sessions a week can help maintain or even increase muscle mass. If you're worried about injuring yourself, start small, maybe with a short workout at home. Over time, your legs, arms, and core will become stronger, making all forms of exercise easier, walking included, though hopefully with better technique. Balance and agility drills also matter. As mentioned, real life is unpredictable, requiring sudden changes in direction and stance. This is why many seniors who only walk in a straight line still end up with falls when faced with unexpected changes in terrain. Simple side steps, step-ups, or gentle lunges in different directions can train your body to adapt. Group classes that teach fall prevention techniques, or even some martial arts forms designed for older adults, can be surprisingly beneficial. The best part is that once you develop better balance and agility, you'll likely find your confidence rising. Instead of fearing a misstep, you'll trust your body to handle small obstacles or quick turns. That empowerment can lead you back to an active social life if you'd given it up out of fear of falling or fatigue. Doctors also point out that some seniors might do better with functional movement training, which integrates multiple muscle groups to replicate real-life motions. Instead of marching forward in a single plane, you practice squatting, lifting, carrying, twisting, things you actually do at home or while running errands. This can involve short circuits of movements that keep you engaged. It might feel more interesting than strolling the same block day after day. The variety also helps reduce repetitive strain on any one set of joints or muscles. If you think about it, older adults who remain vibrant the longest often do a broad range of activities. Gardening, light household chores, social dancing. Walking can be one part of that mix, but it shouldn't overshadow everything else. Another concern is that many seniors walk indoors on treadmills, believing it's the safest option, especially if their neighborhood is not ideal for outdoor activities. But mindless treadmill walking can be as repetitive and posture-limiting as strolling along a flat sidewalk. You might hold onto the rails, leaning forward unnaturally, or zone out while the belt moves under your feet. This can reduce the workout's overall effectiveness. If you prefer a treadmill due to safety or weather issues, at least vary the incline or speed intervals to keep your muscles guessing. Still, consider mixing treadmill days with other forms of exercise, like recumbent cycling, where you can strengthen your legs without the same repetitive joint impact. Let's address potential skepticism. Some folks might say, "I've walked every day for 20 years and I feel fine." That's great. No one is arguing that walking is inherently harmful. The key is understanding that it can become less effective if it's your only routine and you never challenge your body beyond a modest baseline. Especially if you notice that tasks like climbing stairs, lifting objects, or maintaining balance on uneven ground are getting harder, your daily walk might not be cutting it anymore. If your body is telling you it needs something new, it's wise to listen. For many older adults, stop walking is more symbolic than literal. It means stop relying solely on walking as your main or only activity. Instead, open the door to other exercises that can cover the gaps walking leaves behind, whether that's leg strengthening, cardiovascular challenge, or dynamic balance. It can also help to shift your mindset from focusing on steps per day to focusing on tangible, functional goals. For instance, instead of boasting that you walked 8,000 steps, maybe you track that you can now do 10 chair squats without feeling wobbly, or you managed a slight jog for 30 seconds at a time. These achievements often correlate more strongly with preventing falls, maintaining independence, and preserving overall health. After all, the end game for most people isn't just to get a certain number on a step counter. It's to remain mobile enough to keep up with grandchildren, travel comfortably, or simply live with less pain and fear of immobility. A shift in exercise strategy might be what unlocks that future for you. If you're unsure where to begin, consider consulting a physical therapist or a fitness trainer who specializes in older populations. They can assess your gait, posture, balance, and muscle strength, then recommend a variety of movements tailored to your needs. You might be surprised how small modifications in your daily life, like sitting on an exercise ball for short periods, doing light stretches while watching TV, or performing calf raises when waiting for the kettle to boil, can add up to significant gains over time. The goal isn't to become an elite athlete, but to maintain or recapture enough mobility and strength to enjoy whatever activities matter most to you, be it gardening, dancing, or simply puttering around the house without discomfort. You might also benefit from community classes such as senior yoga, Pilates, or gentle dance. These can challenge your range of motion, engage your core, and build a sense of rhythm and body awareness. If the idea of group classes feels intimidating, there are plenty of online videos or DVDs designed for seniors looking to expand beyond walking. Variety can be the spice that keeps you motivated. Repetitive tasks get stale and don't stimulate your muscles as effectively as learning new moves. Our bodies and minds both thrive on adaptation, so the more you mix things up, the more likely you are to see genuine improvements. Diet is another piece of the puzzle. If you're pushing your body to gain strength or enhance cardio fitness, you need enough protein, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals to fuel that progress. Many older adults eat less protein than recommended, which can hamper muscle maintenance. Combine a new exercise plan with a focus on high-quality proteins and nutrient-rich foods, and you'll see better results. Hydration is also essential. Dehydration can contribute to dizziness or cramps, making new exercises riskier. The synergy between eating well and diversifying your exercise routine can't be overemphasized. Lastly, let's circle back to the headline, Doctors Shock, Stop Walking Now, Do This for a Healthier, Longer Life. Maybe it sounded clickbait at first, but the essence is that doctors who watch seniors come in year after year for checkups see that many are stuck in a rut, relying on gentle walks as their entire fitness plan. Over time, they realize these patients might need more than just steps. The doctors are shocked in the sense that they discover how, for some individuals, endless walking has not prevented age decline. So the new wave of advice is more holistic. Incorporate resistance exercises, mind your posture, try dynamic movements, and occasionally push your cardio system beyond a slow shuffle. If you're willing to break out of the walking-only mindset, you might be rewarded with renewed vigor, reduced joint pains, and a more robust sense of independence. That's how you set the stage for a healthier, longer life, not just one where you accumulate steps on a pedometer. Give yourself permission to step off that same old path. Experiment with small bouts of interval training or join a senior's strength class. Keep a positive, open mind and celebrate small milestones, like the first time you realize your thighs aren't burning after climbing a flight of stairs, or you can lift groceries without straining, or your posture feels noticeably taller. These signs show you've tapped into something that walking alone might never have achieved. The final takeaway is that while walking can remain a pleasant, moderate activity, especially if you refine your technique or add intervals, don't let it become the only exercise you ever do. Explore the possibilities. Seek a balanced mix that addresses strength, balance, cardio, and flexibility. Thank you for taking the time to absorb this perspective. I hope it inspires you to evaluate your current routine and consider whether you need a shake-up. If you found this video or article helpful, share it with a friend or family member who might also be relying too heavily on walking. And if you have success stories or experiences to share, feel free to chime in. The community of older adults discovering new ways to stay fit can be a powerful source of motivation. Remember to consult professionals if you have any doubts, but don't be afraid to try something new. You may just end up surprising your doctor and yourself with how much stronger, more balanced, and more energetic you can be when you stop walking the same old path and start doing what truly benefits your body. Stay active, stay safe, and here's to many more years of vibrant living. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.